How can I manage my anger? Anger is a common emotion that we experience, but how do we manage it? Hi, my name is Martha. I'm a clinical sexologist with a doctorate in human sexuality, and I'm from Eros Coaching. To answer this question, I want to share a personal story. Many years ago, I was told, if you ask some of my older friends, they would tell you that I had anger issues. And I was regarded as somebody who was quick-tempered. What was really happening was that I was absorbing all these negative emotions, especially anger, in my life. And I would get triggered by little things, and it would be almost like a volcano eruption. It's unpredictable. You don't know when it's coming. And needless to say, I became afraid of my own emotions. I didn't know how to deal with it. So fast forward a few more years, I sought out life coaching, and I talked about it with my coach about how I didn't feel that I was a good person because I would be quick-tempered. She encouraged me to work on my compassion. And at first I didn't know how that would help me manage my anger, but it did. So I would use affirmations and tell myself again and again, I'm compassionate, I'm compassionate, I'm compassionate, I'm loving, I have a generous heart, I care for people. And all these affirmations, as I continued into the weeks and months, I started to feel a shift. I started to feel more patient towards people. And when I feel more connected with people and more compassionate, I definitely don't want to hurt people. And one day, this is even much later than that. One day, I had this colleague. I was working in a Japanese company, and there was this person who was going to replace me. So I trained her, and I explained all my duties and responsibilities. I broke it down to smaller steps. And she looked like she understood what I was saying, but over time I realized she didn't, because she wasn't having good English. And so one day, she came storming to me and started shouting at me and saying that I didn't teach her things, but I did. I did explain things to her. So she screamed at me, and it looked like she's in the right? Because the person who screams, I must have done something wrong to her. So she screamed at me, and I screamed back at her. And because I knew that I had done nothing wrong, and I felt it was unwarranted. What I noticed at that moment, so there was this witnessing that was happening, was that I actually wasn't angry. I was using my loudness as a weapon to let her know, you cannot bully me into being wrong when I have done no wrong. And if you want to play loud, I can play louder. So I used that as a weapon. And I realized, actually, even though I was able to shout, I was not angry. And that day was a big kind of like epiphany, that I realized that I was now in charge and in control of my emotions, that I could separate between what was happening loud and with not being angry inside, the external expression and the internal sensation and feeling. And over time, I became more and more confident and comfortable with being loud, expressing myself, and not being afraid of my anger. So I embraced the shadow side of anger, and that allowed me to have more power, and it felt good. So I'm sharing this personal story because the few things that went on for me. The first one is embracing compassion and patience. The next, meditation helped a lot. The next thing was learning that being loud is not necessarily bad. It is a tool, just like any communication tool, that I need to become comfortable with. And the next thing is that I realized that there was also such a thing called righteous anger. This is when I felt unhappy with certain things, and instead of being angry about it, that righteous anger can allow me to do something about it. So for instance, I wasn't happy with the fact that there was not much sex education. There wasn't people talking about positive conversations around sex. And I wanted to be that person, because at some point, it wasn't just about fame or fortune or making money. It was really about my desire to help more people that propel me. And it came from this righteous anger. So anger is not a bad thing if you look at it that way as well. So there are different ways in which we can understand what anger means. It's just like any other emotion. It's telling us that something is not right, and we can decide to do something with it. How? Practice. Practice doing it, practice playing with it, and practice becoming comfortable with it as well. So I hope my story, my personal story, has brought some light to the different aspects of anger and what you can do about it. So I love to hear your comments, your feedback, your questions, and you can email me at ask@eroscoaching.com. This is Martha, and I'm looking for questions relating to love, sex, and life.